Naomba nichukue kwanza nafasi hii kutambua na kumshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Balozi. Asante kwa kuja tena. Tunakutana na wewe leo mara ya pili hapa ukumbini. Nimshukuru sana Joramu na kwa kunialika tena. Huwa wanasema ukialikwa mara ya pili na maana ulizungumza vizuri mara ya mwisho. Kama ningezungumza vibaya wasingeniita tena. Joramu, asante sana. Waheshimiwa wote walioko hapa, kaka yangu, ndugu yangu, team, karibu. Tumekutana mara ya pili hapa kwenye ukumbi huu. Arrangement tofauti lakini tumekutana tena. Karibu Tanzania. Waheshimiwa wote, mabibi na mabwana mlioalikwa hapa leo, ni heshima kubwa kwangu kupata nafasi ya kuzungumza kwa mara nyingine na vijana wa Kitanzania. Na huwa nikizungumza Kiingereza natoka sana jasho, kwa sababu sio lugha ambayo nimeizoea. Sasa nafikiri wako watu ambao wanasumbuka kidogo na Kiswahili, na tunakutana mara ya pili tena. Kukumbuka vizuri sana. I remember you, we met again a month ago or something, somewhere else. I was just saying, when I speak English, I profusely sweat because it is not my mother tongue. So ndachanganya kidogo ili tuweze kuelewana. Joramu, umenipigia simu, nilikuwa nyumbani. Naomba nizungumze ukweli. Nimerudi kutoka safari usiku. Sasa siku nyingine tukialikana tunakumbushana the day before. Kwa sababu nilikuwa niko nyumbani, sijisikii vizuri, nimechoka, nilikuwa nimesafiri kidogo. Lakini namshukuru Mungu nimeweza kumanage kufika. Na mke wangu ameniambia nenda, utamdisappoint sana Joramu usipokwenda. Kwa hiyo naomba nimshukuru Mungu amenipa nafasi ya kusimama hapa mchana wa leo. Kwa wale ambao hawanifahamu, waniona kwa mara ya kwanza, mimi kama nilivyotambulishwa naitwa Shigongo Eric James. Ni mfanyabiashara. Kwa kweli, ni mfanyabiashara, lakini nilipata kipaji cha Mungu cha kuandika. Kipaji. Ni Mungu tu alinizawadia uwezo wa kuandika. Sikufundishwa na mtu yoyote mahali popote, wala sikupita chuo chochote cha kufundishwa kuandika. Ni talanta ya Mungu alinipa, akaweka ndani yangu, na talanta hiyo ndio inifanya mimi nikaandika vitabu vyote mlivyovisoma. Ndugu zangu wa Tudako wako hapa, nimesoma Tudako, umekuta taifa langu umezikuta. Mmezikuta wameniongelea kama nilipata 4.8, sio? Lazima wamewaambia. Kwa hiyo nilipata zawadi ya Mungu ya kuandika. Kwa hiyo wengi mmenifahamu kwa sababu niliandika vitabu na mkasoma vitabu vyangu. Generation ya MC kama nilivyosema, walioko hapa ndani najua mmesoma vitabu vyangu. Wangapi wamesoma maandishi yangu mahali popote? Waliwahi kusoma maandishi yangu mahali popote? Asanteni kwa support yenu. Sasa mimi nataka, first of all, I would like to endorse what Tim just said. Tim, I came in the middle of your presentation, and I agree and I endorse everything you said, especially on your character. Because I believe the foundation of success is character. If you have no good character, forget about success. So you spoke about character, and I agree it is character that made me to be who I am. Now with character is a battle. Every day is a battle because everyone else is doing something, though it's taking them astray, but it's a trend everybody's doing. But for you to discipline yourself and say, I'm not going to do that because it's not taking me to where I'm going. It's a battle. It's a fight. So you must cultivate good characters. I endorse what Tim just said, and I always enjoy when you're doing a presentation. I like your presentation style. So mine will be a little bit of a testimony. It's going to be more of a testimony. Takuwa natoka kama ushuhuda tu, yale ambayo timu ameyazungumza is exactly what happened to my own life. My presentation will be more of a testimony. For someone who is listening to me for the first time, it's going to be a little bit of a story, and then within that story, you learn something. Everything that Tim has been saying, it's easy within my story. I was born many years ago, back in 1969. 69 is a long time ago. I was speaking to my daughter just yesterday evening, and I said, he asked, Daddy, when were you born? I said, 1969. No, 69 is too long. Did you see were you not taken for a slave? Because she thinks 1969, it was during slavery time. So I was born a long time ago, especially for most of you. In a family of two impoverished and poor parents, my mother and my father. We are 9 of us, because we lost one. We are 9 of us, and in a very, very poor family. I share this story wherever I go, because I want to inspire someone, to make someone who feels like nothing good is going to happen to him or her believe that if it happened with Eric, it can as well happen with me. So it was a very poor family back in the villages. My father and my mom were very loving parents. God rest them in peace. So they did not go to school. They were not educated at all. They did not know how to read and write. But they insisted much on education. So they took us to school. So, as you must all be aware of, a kid is born with all the abilities, believing he can do anything in the world. I wanted to be a doctor as a little boy. I went to school believing that one day I'll be a doctor. Treat people, sick people, heal people. So I was taken to school. But because of the environment, how people treated me and my family, I lost confidence. I believed I was just another dumb kid who would be nothing in his life. Because in the streets, they called me names. And my famous name was Madaso. Madaso, for some people, hail from Mwanza. Some are from Mwanza here. You know what I mean? Yes. Madaso is a kid who puts on worn-out clothes. So I was named Madaso. Wherever I go, they called Madaso, 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 because my clothes were worn out. I went to church with worn-out clothes, to school with worn-out clothes. So because of that, I lost all the confidence in me. And I said to myself, if my father, who was my #1 role model, did not make it, definitely I'm also going to end up being a poor guy in my life. So I gave up. I succumbed. I raised my hands up and said, if my father did not make it, I as well will never make it. I gave up. So during my school days, primary school, I never got above 20 in my exams. Never got 20. So my teachers named me as well as a dumb kid. So I stopped putting efforts. I gave up. When I failed my primary school exam, I was not even surprised, because that's what I expected. My father believing in me, saying, I want you to be a doctor. He took me to go repeat Standard 7 somewhere else. Those days we used to repeat Standard 7. I repeated, redid Standard 7. I failed again. So once you fail twice, it's a justification that you are truly dumb. There was no more arguments. So I gave up about education. Long story short, I don't want to take much of your time. I was taken to different small colleges. They wanted me to be a doctor, so they took me to a certain college in Tabora, an area called Shigongo, somewhere from Tabora here. They had a nursing assistant training college. They took me there as a standard 7. I remember that day, on the interview day, you know, during interviews you queue, right? You queue. And once somebody pops out of the room, you ask, what are the questions? And once you pop there, they ask you your name, your age, and why do you want to be a nurse? So I crammed. It was about cramming. My name is Shigongo James. I am 17 years old. I want to be a nurse so I can heal people. So all the answers are pre-arranged. You understand what I mean? So I keep on moving. Now, the moment I popped into the room, the interviewers were there. One of them said, hey! All the questions, the answers mixed themselves. You know what happened? What's your name? I'm 26, I'm 17 years old. Why do you want to be a nurse? My name is Shigongo James. So I messed it up. But one of the interviewers felt mercy on me and said, we're going to try this kid. Because I started crying and told the story about my family. I was from a poor family. Now help me to get into this college because I want to change my family story. So they put me to the college. I ended up cramming. You know, in medical school, they teach difficult subjects. They taught me about difficult terminologies. So I ended up cramming. It was cramming. I did not know how to speak a single sentence in English. Can you imagine? They took me to a nursing school. So there it was cramming. Long terminologies. You know medical school. Do you have medical school students here? Medical school students? You guys are studying very difficult things. They told me to cram, staphylococcus, diplococcus. You know those terms, eh? I crammed. Imagine cramming, and finally I became at the top of the class. Cramming. Anatomy and physiology, microbiology. I crammed other things. From cramming team, I went to be the top of the class. That's where I just felt that I wasn't dumb, but the environment made me feel dumb. I was taken to another college. Then I said, no, I don't want to become a nurse because nursing was for females. I believed so. So I quit. I went to another college. They call it rural medical assistant colleges, where they teach rural medical assistants to go treat in the villages you are not allowed to treat in town. It's in Morogoro, an area called Kilosa. I spent 3 years there and graduated at the top of the class again. So I justified that I wasn't dumb as people called me. I wasn't dumb as I was labeled by the world. I was walking with a label behind me that I'm a dumb kid. But I said, I am not dumb. That moment in my life, I said, now, because I know the truth, I am going to fight all my life until I am the top of the world. I will fight until I prove people wrong. I will fight until I change my family story. People never respected my parents. I said, now I'm going to fight until people start respecting my mom and daddy. So that was the drive in me. You must have a reason why you want to succeed. Without a reason, you will never succeed. I said, my number one reason is to prove people wrong and to make people respect my parents. Because we used to live in a small shack, small house, and surrounded by rich people. So we were actually the only impoverished house family in that neighborhood. Some of you in Mwanza, right? I grew up in Mwanza, an area called Meko. Do you know what somebody knows Meko? You know where I live? You know our house? It was just a small house surrounded by rich people. If it was Dar es Salaam, then it would be Mikocheni, but we are the first people to live in Mikocheni, and then rich people came later on to build their mansions. So nobody respected my family. Nobody treated us well. We were isolated by rich kids. I was angry. There was anger in me. I said, when I grow up, I'm gonna make my mama respected. When I grow up, I'm gonna make my parents respected. When I grow up, I wanna be somebody in this country. People should know I existed. Imagine if I died back in 1990s. How would you know me? I said with anger in me. Should I call it anger or anything? But it was such a fierce passion in me. Said I want to break my father's record. My kids won't have to go through what I went through as a kid. So I fought. Let me tell you this. It's not going to be easy, my friends. It's not easy. It's a fight. We live in the world. I said last week somewhere I was invited to speak. I said, the world is not a good place to live in. It's a fight every day. People are not ready to give you positions. Nobody is ready to give you their position. You have to fight to have a chair at the table. You have to fight. Nobody should lie to you. It's going to be easy. It's a fight. They don't want you at the table. You have to fight for you to have a chair at the table. It's not going to be easy. It's a fight. We were born in this country. It's a great country, I'm telling you. We have everything to succeed in this country. The infrastructure does not allow you to be in the State House. The infrastructure does not allow you to be a minister, to be a member of parliament, to be successful. Doesn't allow you. You have to fight. Because people would try to block your moves, to put obstacles and hurdles before you. That's how it works in the world. It's not complacence. It's not about nitafika tu. Hakuna. Duniani kuna watu kabisa wako tayari kukuua, wako tayari kukuzuia, wako tayari usipate. Ukitaka kupata wanakufanyia kila aina ya figisu usipate. Ndio dunia ilivyo. You have to fight. I fought. I fight every day. Even this morning I was fighting. Because nobody will allow me to be where I want to go. This is the truth. You are speaking to a person who came from there. And I'm still moving to where I am going. I know my destiny. I know it's not going to be easy. People try to tarnish me. People try to ruin my name. I know. But I will fight until the day that I die. I'll be happy that I lived full and I am dying what? So you must have that passion. Don't be satisfied. Don't be satisfied. Never be complacent. I know some of you come from families just like my family. Some of you here hail from families just like my family. I'm here to tell you today, you can be anything you want to be, but it's going to be a fight. A fight. Keep adding value to yourself. Keep adding value to yourself. adding value to yourself. Never be the same this year and next year. Keep adding value to yourself. I work hard to add value to myself. The way I am this year, it is not the same as I was last year. I have added something to my life. You know, I told you, I never went to secondary school. I don't know anything like Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. I have never been there. You can go check the records. Sijai kusoma mimi si Form 1, si pre-nini, sijawahi mimi sikukaa darasani mwalimu alifundisha form. Sijawahi. I started business with a talent, I told you. I wrote books with a talent. Then back in 2017, a guy called Godwin Gondwe came to my office. Told me, Eric, why can't you go to university? I said, I'm a standard 7. And you know what? Before that, in 2010, I contested again for Member of Parliament. And during the campaigns, my fellow with a master's degree, they were busy telling me, oh, you know, this guy is standard 7. So he's not going to do anything good for you. Forgetting that most of the audience were standard 7. So when I was given a chance to speak, I said, how many of you have master's degree? Nobody. How many of you have a degree? No. How many of you are standard 7? The entire congregation raised hands. But to me, it was a pain in me. I was very hurt. I said, one day, I'll be at the university. 2017, Godwin Gondwe came to my office and said, Eric, you have written so many literary works. You have written so many books. Why can't you go to the university? By then, Godwin was teaching at the University of Tumaini, Tudako. He said, why can't you join? I don't have the qualifications. Eric, you have the qualifications. He took me to TCU. Professor Mwesiga was then the executive secretary. I took all my books that I had written. I said, Mwesiga, I have written all these books with the standard 7 education. Why can't you allow me to go to the university? He said, we have a program called RPL, Recognition of Prior Learning. In America, they have it. In Germany, all over the world, they identify people with talents or people who have done great things and allow them to go to university. So I was given an exam. I did it. The first time I failed. The second time I passed. And then I joined Tudako. From standard 7 to university. What is that? That is adding value to myself. I was busy trying to add value to my life. So in your life, make sure you add value to yourself every single day. Never be complacent, never be satisfied. I did 3 years there and graduated. And I graduated at the top of the class. I became the best student. With my stories there. With a GPA of 4.8. But you know what? They called me dumb. You remember? They called me dumb and they diminished my confidence. They make me feel stupid by naming me names. In this world, people name you names. Bad names with an intention of killing your potential. My friend Tim just spoke about it. Never accept those names. Those are never your names. Your name is written in the Bible. You are created in the image of God. And you are God's DNA. So nobody should ever give you a name and you accept it. I graduated at Tumaini with a GPA of 4.8. Imagine, I am a CEO in my company, I have a family, and I graduated very well. I was the best student. That was not enough for me, because I've now become a politician. So they said, okay, I think you need to study more. I joined the Open University to do master's degree. 2 days ago, I graduated again with a master's degree. Just 2 days ago. I keep on moving. I am not stagnant. I keep on moving. One day you will see my name. One day you say, he said, and look, here he is. I am not satisfied with what I have. I keep on working every single day, adding back to myself. Next week, I'm registering for my PhD. Trust me. And you know why I'm doing all this? I'm doing this to inspire somebody who is out there giving up, who says, I'm standard 7, so I can never be anything. I'll be a PhD in 3 years, and you will see with your own eyes. Why am I doing all this? And why am I saying this? Kwa nini nawaambia vitu vyote? Naambia vitu vyote kumtia mtu moyo katikati yenu. Mtu ambaye anaona kwamba haiwezekani kwake. Ndugu zangu, inawezekana. Unaweza kuwa chochote kwenye taifa hili, hakuna mtu wa kukuzuia. Wala watu wasikulebo ukaanza kujua kama I don't deserve it. You deserve it. You can be the president of Tanzania. You can be prime minister. You can be the richest person in the country. You can be the highest respected preacher in this country. The same country, the same continent of Africa. Now listen. Son of a poor person. The father did not go to school. Mama would not go to school. Today, he's a member of parliament. This is the true example of what Tim was talking about. It involves hard work. Hard work. You have to work very hard. I don't believe only in working smart, but I believe in working very hard. Push yourself. Push yourself more. One step ahead. Don't be satisfied wherever you are. There is something more you can do. A small step every single day. The Bible tells me in Proverbs 16:9, says, you have to keep on making steps, and God will direct your steps. So keep going. Keep moving. Don't give up. Don't listen to what people are saying. Don't pay attention too much to the environment. People don't want you to succeed. Nobody wants you to succeed. People would love to enjoy to see you in trouble, to see you fail. People will live in a very sadistic environment where people enjoy seeing people in trouble. Say no to that. And stand up, work hard, build a good character, just as Tim said. Elevate yourself. Keep searching for knowledge every single day. Never stop learning. Somebody said the moment you stop learning, you start dying. It was Oyedepo, I think. Keep learning. Read books. Educate yourself. Listen to people who have been there before you. Take some points and apply it to your life. I guarantee you, you'll be very, very successful. You and I are Tanzanians. All of us are patriotic, and all of us love this country. This country is about you and I working harder to change it. No one else except ourselves. I want you from today to believe in yourself and say, I am going to move forward building my country. We have no time, no more time left. The clock is ticking. Time is running. We have no time. Just 1.5 months ago, we had my friend Lawrence Mafuru, and we had my friend Faustin Ndugulile. They were all alive. They did not know what was going to happen next. What are we learning from that parable? What can happen to anyone? The next minute, I might be dead. The next minute, you'll be dead. You never know. They never knew. Faustin had just won the WHO position for Africa. He was just waiting to go. But right now, he's resting with our God. The end of the story. What will happen to you when you die? What will people talk about you when you're gone? What story are you telling us when you leave? What shall we talk about you when you exit? All of us will exit this planet one day. Go home thinking you're a youth, young, not yet ripe. Think about, if I die, what will people talk about me, and start doing that now. All of us want to die great. And we have role models like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, J.K. Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. We admire those people. Jesus Christ. All of us admire Muhammad, right? We admire those people. But you know what? Those people were just people like you and I. They chose to work hard, sometimes to put their lives in trouble. Sometimes they chose to put their lives in trouble, their lives in danger, so they can have an impact in the world. It's not easy to create an impact. There are times you put your life at risk. You volunteer to do something for free. Nobody's paying you to travel from Uganda to Tanzania, come and speak to a youth. Nobody's paying. Nobody's paying Joram to arrange and organize all these things. But why is he doing it? He is doing it because he believes that if Joram is not here tomorrow, all of us will talk about Joram because of the impact he created. Let's live. Let's live an impactful life. Don't live just like a common man. My father was a good guy. But you don't know about my father. You know my father through me. When I talk about my father, you know that the guy existed. All he did was to invest in me and my siblings so that one day we're going to mention about him. God is giving you a chance to live. We don't know how long we're going to live. Work hard. Torture yourself. Don't be satisfied. I am telling you, if you do that, and only that, one day we're going to meet somewhere. You are the president of Tanzania, one day. Just choose to work hard. Conclusive, coming to an end of my speech. That's how I moved from the streets to the parliament. And there is somewhere I'm going. There's a place I'm going. I know it myself. Because I read a book by, 48 Laws of Power. How many of you read that book? There's a certain principle that says, conceal your intentions. So I'm not going to tell you my intentions. Because if I tell you my intention, you knock me down before the game wins. But I know I am moving towards a certain destination, and I know where I'm going. And all of you here, you must know where you're going. You are not in schools and colleges not knowing of where you're going. Your destiny cannot be in oblivion and then you become successful. I want you to choose success from today and have confidence. This continent is a blessed continent of Africa. Africa is a blessed continent. You all know how wealthy this continent is. But we make Europe and USA and other countries richer while we continue languishing in poverty. So I want you and I to join our hands and work hard to improve the lives of our people and to improve the status of Tanzania, make it one of the richest countries in the world. Saying that, thank you so much for listening to me. God bless. Okay.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Eric Shigongo. So before we move to the next activity that he's also going to do it, would like to see if there's anyone that has a question. I'll give you maybe two people, not three. Yes, brother? Can you get a mic for him? The second one, okay, the last one? Yes, the last one. Sure, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Daudi Masunga. I'm coming from Kampala International University. I'm serving as a student and a student leader, president of the Kampala International University Student Organization. I want to ask some questions, especially on the Honorable said that people put obstacle on our day-to-day activity as young leaders. So I want to know, how can we challenge, how can we make a barrier so that we cannot be able to be challenged, so that we improve. We go step by step so that we improve we reach our destiny. We have seen many of young leaders, when they try to be against or to make their dreams, we see the challenge they face. Some of the challenges, the people kill them, and they make them not to be in any area so that they can pass. So I want to, maybe he can analyze something so that we use it as a channel, so that for us to reach our dreams. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Mr. Zakaria Msanja. I'm a former student at the University of Dar es Salaam. But I want to ask Honorable Shigongo. He is more successful because he's a book writer and he's a businessman. How can he inspire these students? Now they believe in employment. They believe in employment, but how you can inspire them after graduating? Don't you think about employment and think about how we can find another opportunity to get money? Because many students, they are believe on employment only. Because yes, also I will believe in employment before, but I don't know in employment. So how Honorable Shigongo can inspire students to believe in employment? Thank you.
Haya, asante. Unaitwa nani? Zakaria, asante sana. Mimi naomba niseme hivi, kama ambavyo nimewaambia, people will always put obstacles before you. Yani utake usitake. You know, growing up, my parents told me, Eric, when you grow up, be a nice guy. Treat people right. They taught me that. And I thought every kid was taught the same thing by their parents. But when I got into the world, I realized probably I was the only person who was taught that. My mother always told me, Eric, usigombane na watu. Kwenye maisha yako, ishi vizuri na watu. Usigombane na watu, sio jambo jema. Sasa nikashangaa nilipoingia duniani, everybody wants to fight with me. So that's where I changed my principles. I started fighting. I'm telling you the truth, unless you want me to lie. Niwadanganya. Kwa sababu, one day my mama called me and said, Eric, nimesikia umpeleka mdogo wako polisi. Kaambia ndio mama. Siku hizo nimekuwa na roho mbaya. Kama mama, watu wamenifanya niwe na nini? Na roho mbaya. Sikuchagua mimi kuwa na roho mbaya. Lakini watu wamenitengeneza kuwa na nini? Na roho mbaya. Na mimi sipigani na mtu kwa mikono. When I say fight, I don't mean you use your fists. I take people to court. I use my lawyers to show people that I don't need anyone to mess with me. And once people learn that, they stop playing with you. Nobody plays with America because they know what America did to Hiroshima in Japan. You all know the story. I'm not trying to make you bad people, but I'm telling you for sure somebody will try to block your move of becoming a minister, becoming a successful businessman. Whether you were born again or not, whether you were a good person or not, Christ Jesus was a good guy. Very good guy. But you know what happened to him? And he never wanted even to fight. But one day he went to church and he found people doing business in church. You know what happened? And the Bible does not explain well that story. I'm telling you, that signifies the fact that if anyone wants to block your move, find a way you can continue your journey. I remember one time I wanted something from somewhere, and then somebody tried to block me from getting it. You know what? If you put a thick wall before me, but I know the other side there are people, I will use somebody on the other side to bring you what I need to this side without me going. Are you with me? Mnanielewa? Ukiniwekea ukuta mzito kama huu mbele ya ndoto yangu, mimi naweza nikaacha kwenda. Lakini kuna watu wako kule upande wa pili. Mtu wa upande wa pili ataniletea hicho nilichokuwa nakitaka na utaniona ninacho. Na ukuta wako umeweka. One day I need something from the government. And then this person is trying to block my move. I said, okay. I called someone. And that someone who was trying to block my moves, put obstacle and hurdle before me, was called by someone and told to call me. Are you with me? Mtu aliyekuwa ananizuia nisipate, akapigiwa na mtu mkubwa kuliko yeye, na akaambia mpigie Shigongo, alafu msaidie kuipata ile jambo. So in this life you have to learn, kujifunza jinsi ya kumitigate kati ya watu wanajaribu kuzuia. Lakini mwisho wa siku ni lazima ufike wanakotaka kwenda. Ukikubali watakuzuia kila jambo na utakufa maskini, utakufa insignificant, hakuna mtu atajua kama una exist. Nimewaambia it's a battle. Hii dunia unayoiona hii ni battleground. Kuna simba wako hapo ambao wanaenjoy kila siku wao unapata matatizo. Wanakudhulumu, wanakufanya kila aina ya ubaya. Wapo, hata chuoni wapo. Ni simba kabisa huyo. Unafanya research yako lakini profesa hataki research ipite. Sio? Ni simba huyo. Yaani hapa duniani kuna simba na kuna swala. Simba anataka kula nini? Hata ichaguo nataka kuwa simba au uwe swala. Kiwa swala maana yake uliwe. Fight. Sitakupa jibu moja la kwamba ufanye nini. Yaani wewe tumia akili jinsi ya kupita, build momentum. Unaelewa? If somebody is trying to block you, build what? Momentum, uweze kumvuka. You can and you have those abilities. Usikubaliane na kile ambacho watu wanataka kufanya. Ajira. Wewe mwambie ukweli. Ukweli uko hivi. Back in 1961, tulipata uhuru, tulikuwa na university hii. University of Dar es Salaam. Na wali graduate watu 7. Mwaka 61. Watu wangapi? 7. Tukija mpaka 74 hapa ilikuwa bado huko chuo, sawa? umeshapata kazi. Wale wa zamani wananielewa. Yaani bado uko chuo umeshapata nini? Unasubiri tu ukitoka uingie benki na benki inakusubiri. Sasa there's a say, there's an Adam saying, yesterday's truth can be today's lie. Yesterday's truth can be today's what? Lie. Employment kwa sasa. Na mimi nataka niwaambie ukweli. I have realized if you go somewhere to speak, there are people who like your speech, some people just dislike your speech. And there's no way hapa naongea watu wote mtafurahia wanachokiongea. Kuna watu wataondoka hapa na wamekasirika, wakamwonyesha tuambia haya mambo. Tuambieni tu ukweli. Na kwa sababu leo mmeniita tena na mambo nilifurahia nilichokizungumza last time. Sio? Au nilikukera? The lie of a century today is employment. It's a lie. It's an illusion. We're not saying don't go to school. I want you to go to school, study and graduate. Lakini the yesterday's truth, which was once you graduate you have an employment, is a lie today. We cannot employ all the graduates today who graduate from universities. I'm not saying don't go to school. Education remains an important thing in life. Don't copy and paste what they say in the US or read those books saying, okay, I quit school and I become a billionaire. No. That's why I take my kids to the most expensive schools in the country, pay a lot of money because I know education is still very important. But education is not for employment. Education is for enlightenment, educing people, to open people's minds so they can create employment. Are you with me? It's a sad story, but the truth. I want you to graduate and start companies. Just like me. I have never been employed, but I employ people. You can do the same. You can come with ideas and solutions. And you know what? Our world today is moving towards digital economy. And we BBCs, you know BBC? Born before computers. You understand? We don't know anything about digital economy. I'm telling you, you are the ones who know this. Come with solutions, okay, that can solve the problems we used to solve analogly. Are you with me? You guys are good in digital economy. And you know our solutions are old school. Come with new solutions using artificial intelligence in everything you study. Once you give us solutions, we'll give you money. People give money to a person with a solution. I always speak of an example of a person called Babu Aloriondo. You know that old man? How many of you remember that story? That old man was living deep in the forest in Loriondo. One day he sat down in the morning and said, man, I'm gonna die poor. If I'm not smart, I will exit this word poor and nobody will remember me. You know that? He said, I'm going to create a product. And you know in this word, create what? Create what? A product. And this product will be a solution to Tanzania because almost every Tanzanian is sick. Or make some water and call it Kikombe Charani. You remember that story? Everybody went to Loriondo. And once I make that product, I myself will sit there with a big bucket and with my cup. And my price will be only 500. You put 500, na kuchotea, unakunywa. Kuchotea, morning, evening, and he became a millionaire. He built a very, very beautiful house. And the government built a tarmac road towards his village. So my dear brothers and sisters, this country, I know a lot about this country, trust me. I never knew, but today I know. This country has opportunities more than any other country in Africa. Let's stop complaining. Tanzanians, let's stop complaining. We are good at complaining and blaming the government. Take steps. Don't wait for the government. Otherwise, foreigners will come here and take everything, and we will continue being poor in our own rich country. I want you to take steps today. Stop complaining. Wake up and do something. However small it is, you're moving forward. Are you with me? Is it boring? Is it boring? No. Let me tell you about your country before I go. Tanzania, your country, is number 1 in Africa in terms of tourism. Natural destination in tourism. Tanzania is number 1 in Africa with the natural destinations. Tanzania is number 1. Tanzania is number 2 in the world rankings in terms of tourism, led by Brazil. Number 2. I don't know whether you're aware. I want to tell you how beautiful and how rich is your country. The only thing you're supposed to do is to wake up ourselves and go do something. Tanzania, my country, the country I love, is number 50 in the world in terms of coal reserve. Tanzania, the same country, 50 in the world in terms of coal reserve. Tanzania, my country, is 22nd in the world in terms of gold reserve. 22nd. Tanzania, my country, is number 10 in the world in terms of diamond reserve. Tanzania, my country, is number 1 globally in terms of helium gas reserve. Tanzania, my beautiful country, is number 1 in the world in terms of tanzanite reserve. And you know what? We have about 945,000 pieces of land in Tanzania. And the arable land is about 350 square kilometers. Why are we poor? Why are we who we are? Why are we allowing foreigners to come here and take everything with us witnessing? Every day complaining. A few months ago, we changed our procurement law. The parliament did an amendment in the law of procurement in this Tanzania so that we can protect our own people. Since 1st of July this year, any business, thanks a lot to Madam President, since July this year, any business worth 50 billion in this country will never be done by a foreigner. It's your business. Before that, it was only 5 billion. Today, any business, be it construction, be it supplies, 50 billion will never be done by a Chinese or any other foreigner. It will be done by us. The government changed the law so it can protect its people. Let's be active. Let's stand up today, go and act. Our country is too rich. Thank you. John, can you please come? I knew Joram 3 years ago. That was through what he does on the internet. I liked him. With his heart of patriotism, giving back to the country, thinking about his fellow young men in Tanzania and Africa, teaching us Kiswahili. That was the entry point. But behind Kiswahili, there was sowing a seed of patriotism among his young people in Tanzania and Africa. I liked him. And in a nutshell, I love him. I love him because him and I think about the same thing. Think about our country, think about our continent. I support Joramu in everything he does. If I am to pray and ask God, is to give me a son like Joramu. Now, when he called me this morning, I said, I will have to go. No matter what, I don't want to disappoint Joramu. Here I am, tired, I'm not feeling well, but I said, no, I'm going. Joramu, I love you.
Thank you very much.
And I am praying to God that God will exalt you and raise you higher for the entire continent of Africa and the world to see you. With whatever you're doing, Joramu, I can guarantee you, it's a guarantee. If you continue doing what you're doing, 10 years down the line, you're one of the greatest people in Africa, in the world. So you continue doing what you're doing, continue inspiring people, continue instilling the spirit of patriotism and leadership in our youth. Because I know today, if I pass my eyes around here, I can see ministers sitting here. Kama uamini, tupinge. Yani haiwezekani ndani hakuna waziri, haiwezekani. Kama uamini ndio tupinge. Mimi naweka milioni 10, wewe usiweke senti. Alafu tuandikishe majina ya watu wote hawa, tukutane miaka 15 ijayo. Kama ndani hamna waziri. Kama uamini ndio tupinge. Haiwezekani ndani hakuna waziri mkuu, haiwezekani. Kama uamini njoo tupinge. Haiwezekani kwa tunatoka jasho, tunazungumza na nyinyi hawa, eti ndani hakuna rais wa mwaka 2040, haiwezekani. Kama uamini njoo tupinge. Alafu watu wote hawa tuandikishwe majina leo, alafu Joramu tutakuwa tunatiki mmoja baada ya mwingine. Huyu alikuwepo, huyu alikuwepo, huyu rais wetu huyu alikuwepo. Na mimi naomba ndugu yangu, utakapokuwa rais, mimi kitu kimoja tu, usinipe hela. Ile ukitembelea Buchosa, sawa? Ukifika pale nyumbani kwangu pale usimame. Usimamishe msafara, uingie kidogo tu nisalimie afu ondoke. Jamani, naomba nirudie. Mheshimiwa Rais, nisikilize, usije ukanigeuka. Mheshimiwa Rais, ikitokea umetembelea Buchosa hiyo miaka hiyo, wewe ule msafara usimamishe tu, naomba nimsalimie mzee Shigongo hapo. Alafu unisalimia alafu uende. Huko nyuma utakuwa umeniachia maisha mazuri mno. Kwa hiyo Joramu, nimekuja hapa leo nataka tuzungumzie na tuzindue kitabu cha Joramu. Joramu ameandika vitabu vingi. Juzi alikuwepo Cuba, alikuwa na promote kitabu chake. Sio? Na hapa na kitabu kingine ameandika Leadership and Mentorship, a Guide to Life. Naomba nirudie kusoma kabla mjapiga drama kofi. Ni Leadership and Mentorship, a Guide to Life. Wangapi wako tayari kuondoka na kitabu? Wangapi wataondoka leo na kitabu? Mkono juu. Watakaoondoka nacho kitabu hiki. Hata kama utaweza kukinunua leo, siku yoyote ili Mungu akusaidie uweze kukinunua. Joramu, kwa kushika kitabu mkononi, mimi naomba kitabu hiki kinunue kwa shilingi 200,000. Lakini kuna kitabu kingine hapa kimeandikwa Ulumbi na Walumbi. Ulumbi na nini? Sasa yeye anaweza kuelezea baadaye ulumbi na walumbi maana yake nini. Huyu ana maneno magumu. Sawa? Lakini yanasaidia kukuza Kiswahili chetu. Kwa hiyo kitabu hiki cha Joramu naomba tukinunue tukakisome. Hakuna faida duniani kama kusoma kitabu. Kila mtu siku moja nataka nionyeshe library yake. Wangapi wana library? Ni kubwa kiasi gani library zenu? Sio? Tuanze utamaduni wa kwa tunaweka nini? Library nyumbani. Sikio unapiga picha huko nyuma nini? Huko mbele ya library yako inaonekana nyuma. Sio wanafanya wenzetu? Na vitabu hivi visomwe. Maarifa yamefichwa kwenye vitabu. Someni vitabu watoto wangu. Hello? Someni vitabu. Watu wengi hawasomi vitabu. We don't read books. We don't. I'm telling you, if you read books, if you have the knowledge in your mind, nothing impossible can be impossible. Just read books. So therefore, today we are launching these 2 books. Ulumbi na Warumbi, and Leadership and Mentorship. I'm spending 400,000 on these 2 books. I want us to support Joramu, but I want us to read books. Read books, attend the seminars, listen to audio. Information is power. Once you have information, apply the information in your life. So when I read this book today, I'll start reading them. And I have a tendency. When I start reading a book, I have to finish it. However bad the book is, I have to finish. Swiss Quarter, I read a book by a person called Tutuola. Somebody Tutuola from West Africa. It is a lot of typos, a lot of mistakes. And I was one time reading, blaming the guy. But because I made it a vow, once I start reading, I have to what? Finish. Get these books, read them from the beginning to the end. Joramu, congratulations. I am more than ready. Yeah. Can we do a team photo as he launched the book? So I would like to request this table that's sitting with the Honorable Musiga, and this table as well with the team. Maybe you can just together. Can I have more copies, please, just for photo? I'll be very happy to be joined by supporters. Yeah. Ambassador, thank you so much. Team, thank you. You can be put your hands together for this activity, please. Jamii, unaweza kupiga makofi. Unajua utakuwa mwandishi na wewe mwakani. Asante sana mheshimiwa. Tume launch Ulumbi na Walumbi, and you have a group photo there. So we go on to the next one, which is the leadership and mentorship.
So you know who you are, you know the power that lies in your hands, on your name, and on your future. Kwa hiyo wasema jitahidi sana kwamba the names that the world can call you, don't embrace them unless it's the right word, it's the right name. Amesema pia you must have a reason why you want to succeed. Na maana that's a purpose. Mr. Tim spoke about it, and he spoke about the purpose. How can you unleash your full potential to be able to live your purpose? How do you bring humility together, unconditional love, saving others, so you can also use that as the main foundational practices for you to be able to serve your purpose. So if you don't have a reason to live your purpose, there's no way you can go that journey of living your purpose. He also added that you need a burning fire, a faith spirit, for you to move to where God wants you to move. For you to move to where that your destiny has aligned together for you to go there. Kwa hiyo tuyakumbuke, nadhani tutayakumbuka hayo yote, na amesema usisahau kujiongezea thamani. Keep adding value to yourself. Every now and then, when we were opening the session today, we said learning is a process. So it's not a destination. You don't reach somewhere and say, no, now I've learned already and I know what I wanted to know. You keep on learning every day. And the more you learn, the more you know that you don't know. So if you know that you don't know, you keep learning every single day, because learning is a process, and this is a process of learning new things and learning the old behavior or the old habits, and relearn what you need to take you to the next level.
Kila kitu unachokiona duniani ni matokeo ya akili za wanadamu.
Tarehe 5 Disemba 2024 ndio ile siku ambayo baba yetu na mwalimu wa wengi kupitia uandishi wake nguli wa vitabu vya fasihi kama vile Rais Anampenda Mke Wangu, Machozi na Damu, Kifo ni Haki Yangu na vingine vingi vilivyogusa mioyo ya wasomaji wengi ndani na nje ya mipaka ya Tanzania, kutoka kwenye mikono yenye utunzi ya Mheshimiwa Eric James Shigongo, mbunge wa jimbo la Buchosa na mwenyekiti wa makampuni ya Global Group, ametunukiwa shahada ya uzamili katika mawasiliano ya umma, yani Master's Degree in Mass Communication. Hadi hapo hampigi makofi. Hapo sawa.
Safari ya kupata shahada ya uzamili si nyepesi hata kidogo. Inahitaji juhudi, ustahimilivu, nidhamu na maono makubwa. Baba, umetufundisha kuwa hakuna ndoto iliyokubwa isiyowezekana kwa mtu mwenye bidii na nia. Kama watoto wako, familia yako na wale wote wanaokuangalia kama kiongozi, tunajivunia sana maisha yako. Mafanikio haya si yako tu, bali pia ni ushindi kwa watu wote wanaokuangalia kama kioo cha jamii.
Kwa niaba ya familia,
marafiki na jamii nzima,
tunasema hongera sana baba yetu Mheshimiwa Eric James Shigongo.
Tunakuombea nguvu, hekima na mafanikio ya juu zaidi katika kila hatua unayoichukua.
Mungu akubariki.
You can put your hands together again. Thank you very much. Asante Kaka Eric Shigongo for being ready to inspire us and fuel the spirit in us, the right spirit in us, for us to be able to move to where we want to move.
Mbele yetu kuna kitabu special kilichoandikwa kwa lugha ya Kiingereza lakini pia kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Kinaelezea miaka 25, a tribute to Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's legacy and marking the journey of the revised East African community. Kwa miaka ile 25 ya Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki tangu ilipoanzishwa. Kwa hiyo ilikuwa ni kitabu ambacho kina hisia zilizo njema na kimeeleza mambo mengi ya usuyo umoja wetu wa Afrika Mashariki, na sisi tunatafuta zaidi kuungana sasa yamkini kuliko kipindi kingine chochote. Kwa kitabu hiki kinakuja kama marashi ya marukato ya nardo kutukumbusha wazee wetu wametoka wapi. Kwa hiyo ni muhimu sana. Sasa mimi sio ambaye nilikiandika kitabu hiki. Waliokiandika na kukiandaa kitabu hiki ni Dr. Tendo pamoja na wenzake. Sasa wameona hapana, lazima vitabu hivi viwafikie wakuu wa nchi mbalimbali. Wamekusha kupeleka maeneo kadha wa kadha, na hii juzi wakati marais wetu wa Afrika Mashariki walikuwa Arusha, walikwenda pia kukabidhi kitabu hiki. Nimeona pia wamemkabidhi kule tulikuwa naye kule Cuba, wakamkabidhi Balozi Humphrey Polepole, wamemkabidhi nimeona pia Profesa Palamagamba Kabudi walikuwa naye kule Arusha. Kwa hiyo sasa kwa heshima kubwa tutamuita ndugu yetu mbunge Mheshimiwa Eric Shigongo wakiongozana pia na balozi, together with His Excellency the Ambassador. You are most welcome. Okay. Yeah. So before we give it to him, kuna maneno ambayo Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ameandika kama forward, utangulizi wa kitabu, na ningependa nisome japo kwa ufupi. Forward. The President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. This year we are marking 25 years since we laid to rest Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere at his ancestral home in Butiama, Tanzania. In order to appreciate the greatness of Mwalimu's legacy, one must begin by studying the history of Africa by 1900. The whole continent of Africa, covering a land of 11.73 square miles, have been subdued by a handful of European countries, in that England, France, Portugal, Spain, Belgium and Germany. On the African continent, it is the only Ethiopia and Liberia that retained their independence. And in 1922, when Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere was born, Tanganyika was still a British colony. However, by the time he died in 1999, the entire continent had been freed from foreign domination. How were we able to regain our freedom? Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is asking a question. Factor number one was the continued resistance of our people against colonialism. Factor two was the support of the socialistic countries to the liberation movement. The support by the USSR and China, not to forget the smaller socialist countries like Cuba, was decisive in helping us to win our freedom back. And the third factor was the inter-imperialist war in 1914 up to 1918, and the Second World War, which Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is calling them inter-imperialist war, in 1939 up 1945, which weakened them to our advantage. Mwalimu's historical contribution started with leading the struggle for independence in Tanganyika. The fact that Tanganyika was the first to become independent in East Africa was due to the excellent intellectual and organizational skills of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. After achieving Tanzania's independence in 1961, Mwalimu made Dar es Salaam the center of all anti-colonial and anti-settler liberation movement. He trained and armed the freedom fighters from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia and Angola. Therefore, Mwalimu Nyerere, alongside Dr. Kaunda, contributed to the freedom of approximately 78 million Africans in the above countries. Asanteni sana kwa kusikiza, na hivyo ni mkabidhi Dr. Tendo. Sasa tutasoma maneno ambayo kitabu hiki kimeandikwa. This complimentary copy is presented to Honorable Eric Shigongo on 7th of December 2024 during the Africa Youth Leadership Forum conference at Hyatt Regency Kilimanjaro Hotel in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, by Dr. Kisembo Ronex Tendo, Group and CEO Africa Mashariki first, and then akasign hapa, in the courtesy of His Excellence Ambassador Retired Colonel Fred Mwesige, Uganda's High Commission to the United Republic of Tanzania. Makofi tafadhali. Makofi mengine tafadhali.
Asante sana. Let me say some few words. I was taught by my parents to be appreciative and to thank people when they do something good to me. On behalf of my family, I accept this honor. To me, this is an honor and a privilege. I came here this morning not knowing that somebody will give me this book. So it's a miracle. And I just want to thank God for the opportunity that has been availed to me. Let me say something small about Mwalimu J.K. Nyerere. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Tendo, for doing what you're doing. I'm a Tanzanian citizen. I'm a writer and author, but I have never done something like this. You from Uganda, you see this oracle in ornament that God gave to the Tanzanian people, and you honor my first president. My life is better today because of Mwalimu Nyerere. And our forefathers, people who gave their lives to extract the colonialists from my country and make me a free person. My life wouldn't be the way it is without him, Mwalimu Nyerere, and the rest of the old people who fought for my freedom. I have the same responsibility today to hand this country to the next generation a better country than I found it. To honor the efforts that Mwalimu Nyerere did to me, I will make sure, and I promise, I will hand this country to the next generation, to my children and my grandchildren, a better country the way I will say it. I'll make sure there is peace in Tanzania, and I'll make sure there's prosperity in Tanzania, and I would love forever my brothers and sisters whom God gave to me as relatives, as family. We as Tanzania, we are one family. We go up together, we go down together. We go forward together, backward together. Let's continue loving one another, just like Mwalimu Nyerere loved us. He had the power and the decision to extract all the mine, all the wealth that we have, the golds, the diamonds. But he said, I will keep this for the next generation. He never sold anything. He kept it for us. And here we are. He died a poor person so I can be rich. Thank you so much for the honor. God bless you.
Asante, ndugu Joram. All protocol observed. Good afternoon. Naomba nitumie nafasi hii kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Balozi retired Colonel Ambassador Fred Mwesige, Uganda's High Commissioner to the United Republic of Tanzania, to come and give his speech. Karibuni sana Mheshimiwa Balozi.
Thank you very much, ndugu Tendo. Good afternoon everybody. Habari za mchana. Habari za mchana. Do you say that? Because I know I'm used to habari za asubuhi, habari za jioni, but now the mchana I was so I'm happy to be here once again. And I want to thank God really for the gift of life that He has given to us. It has kept us alive to meet once again. Praise and glory go to none other than God.
Amen.
We should clap for God. God has given us life, but He has also given us various responsibilities. As I always say, God created every one of us here with a purpose, with a mission. And I want to thank God for team, for Joram, and for Honorable Shigongo, that they are really doing exactly what God created them for. A mission to add value to another human being. A mission to make someone else smile for that day. So we thank you so much for fulfilling God's mission in you, and God will bless you for that. Nataka kuwatambua, I want to recognize Joram again and team and Honorable Eric Shigongo MP, Dr. Muhammad, and Ainaman. This sounds like our Ugandan name. Dr. Sembo, my colleague from Uganda, Mr. Nurdin, the patron of this important grouping, Mr. Levi Kopwe, and all the deans of students present here today, distinguished Dean of Students, honorable students, esteemed guests and members of the African Youth Leadership Forum. It's both a profound honor and privilege to stand before you today as we gather in this forum. We are made of the extraordinary potential within our youth. The delicate shoots destined to replace the mighty oaks of today's leadership. As the previous speakers have said, and I'm repeating it, and I was not with them when they were writing their speeches, but you are the future leaders of this country, of the Africa, of the world. So I want to thank all of you who are in this business of constantly planting a seed, adding value to the youth like you. I thank you and God bless you for that. You know, I was hearing Honorable Shigongo here boasting that he's the oldest. He was born in 1969. Me, I was born in 1950. I'm over 73 years now. So when I'm here, you don't boast a lot. You know, long ago, when we were younger like you, or a little younger, we had to escape from our homes to go and attend some dancing. That time there was a musical instrument called gramophone, but you have never seen it and I don't think you know it. But maybe Tim saw it. Now gramophone was an old instrument which needs rewinding. It had a head like this one with a small needle and the record, and you have to rewind like this several times. Then it gains energy and power and starts playing. Then that kind of will say, cause some music to come and you dance, twist, you dance, all those types of dancing. So what Steam is doing here, what Joramu is doing here, what Honorable Shigongo is doing, and others, is we are rewinding you, we are adding energy to you, we are energizing you, we are adding value so that you become someone of influence, someone who add some positive value to the world. And I want to thank you for doing that. And God bless you for that. My own journey from youth as a herdsman to becoming a freedom fighter, a legislator, and now a diplomat has taught me that greatness is neither inherited nor accidental. It is carefully nurtured, forged in the fire of adversity, and cultivated through discipline, vision, and sacrifice. You see, it is amazing how we share experience, how we share the history, although we don't come from the same background. But when Honorable was talking, I could see myself, because we were herdsmen, we were nomads, like Maasai, the tribe I come from. We were like typical like Maasai, moving from place to place in search of grass and water, and no school, no hospital, nothing. This was the life of my parents. So when I was born in 1950, some dose of Christianity had started infiltrating our country. The preachers of Jesus Christ came to Uganda and they started preaching love of God, love of Jesus. You stop this business of nomadism, settle down, take your children to school. So that's when we were born. Now, you hear my name, Mwesije, is not my ancestral name. That Mwesije means trust, believe in God.
Ili kuwa mwanafamilia bora wa Global TV, usisahau kusubscribe, like, kushare na kucomment. Baada ya kusubscribe, bonyeza alama ya kengele ili kupata taarifa kwa kila video inayopanda Global TV Online.